Hi guys, my name is Faith Moyosore Agwala, aka AFM Stories, and welcome to my scholarship story. With me today is Feranmi, who is a 2020 Commonwealth Shared Scholar who is going to be studying an MA in International Communications and Development at the City University of London. So how does it feel to be a Commonwealth Shared Scholar? Like, how do you feel?
Well, I think it's a dream come true because it's what I've been expecting for long, and seeing it come to pass is, I think it's exciting and it's fulfilling as well. So that's what I would say.
Exciting and fulfilling. I like the way that sounds. So do you think that anybody can win a scholarship?
Sure. Anybody can win a scholarship. It's a point where preparation meets with opportunity. So when you are prepared, the opportunity will always come. So and once the opportunity comes, your preparation will show how prepared you are to take up the opportunity. So the essay and the interview is just to test if you are truly ready for that opportunity. So I believe anybody can win a scholarship if you are truly prepared for it.
So what would you define as being truly prepared? Like, what do you refer to as preparation?
To win a scholarship, we have 2 or 3 segments of the scholarship aspect. We have the leadership part, we have the academic part, and we have the social impact part as well. So all these have different criteria that you must meet. So to prepare yourself for such, then you must look at what it entails, what are needed, what do I need to acquire for me to bring in my strong points and to put up a strong application. So for me, I think one of the major aspects that people don't really look at is the leadership part, and they believe that once I have a first class, once I have a 2-1, I can easily get a scholarship. Then you will now be surprised when you see someone with 2-2 who have the leadership experience, who is making social impact out there, and so you have to take all this into consideration before applying for the scholarship.
So do you think there's a typical scholar though?
There's nobody that is born as a scholar. You have to build yourself, and you have to work on yourself. It's a deliberate, how will I call it now, a deliberate passion to succeed. So once you have that passion to succeed, then you work on it, you build yourself. Sometimes you might find yourself in a situation whereby you think you are not fit or you are not qualified for that kind of opportunity. But over time, when you apply, you try to reflect on yourself and your journey. And before you know it, you find yourself in that arena. So you can apply for the first time, second time, but I will say by the time you keep applying and adjusting and trying to put your essays together and your goals together, then I'm sure that person can easily get a scholarship over time.
Okay, great. So you're studying international communications and development. That sounds really intriguing. I'd like to know, what in your journey led you to deciding to study this, and what drives this passion?
I studied mass communication in my undergrad. And even before I know about international development, I have this kind of niche that, there's something that is called development in communication. But I don't really have that overview of what it really entails. So in my journey after my graduation, I served in the school environment. I work in the radio station, I work in the newsroom. So I've gone around. But I developed that is not where my passion lies. So then I now find myself working on content writing for NGOs, trying to project them, trying to talk about what they do, their success story, try to go to events for them to go and pitch what they do. So in that area, then I realized that there's something here that some people are not saying. So communication for development. So that means you can communicate to develop yourself, to develop your organization, to show people what they don't really know about you, to sell that organization, to sell that idea. So that was the brain behind my interest in international communication and development. So what it really entails is to bridge the gap between the public, the government, all stakeholders of development, and to find a common ground for them to achieve sustainable development goals. So that is where international communication is coming in, to use the media, the social media, the internet, and even advocacy and all forms of communication to bring about development. So my dad will say, you don't really know what you are doing, because he believes I should be working with the news agencies, writing news stories. But because he does not see me in that environment, he will be like, you are wasting your time, you are working for what you don't really know about. But I just kept to myself because I really know that there's a way for me here. And thankfully, I saw myself as someone who is really needed in that environment, in that field. So I see people coming to me, ask me questions. Can you develop content for us? Can you help us with sensitization, advocacy, social media engagement, and the rest, which I really believe is key in the NGO sector as well.
Okay, so how was it like? Because I think you're essentially a consultant for NGOs, right? Like a communications consultant, or you just work with them? I'm trying to fit it into...
I consult for some. I work for
some.
For one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I work with an agribusiness firm, AgriSat farm.
Okay.
So what we do is we created a social media platform, as well as a mobile app that supports farmers on how to plant, how to go into agribusiness, and how to sell their produce. So we started in 2014 as an National Association of Youth in Agribusiness.
Wow.
And because of that, we saw the business aspect of it. So then a team of 7, we came together to develop that mobile app. So from there, AgriSat Farm came to be. And with time, we now realized that we have to create a need as well as a solution to that need. So what we did was to now do some kind of a survey around and to look at what are farmers really lacking in rural environments. So we realized that most of them really love to plant, but they are facing issue of post-harvest losses and the rest. So we now have to come up with that app, and to now realize that, okay, farmers love to farm, but this problem of post-harvest losses is being taken care of. What about the youths that are not interested in agribusiness? How do we bring them on board? So that's why we used, we realized that social media and that mobile app, we interest youth to bring them back to farming. So and from there, with the organizations I consult with, ranging from agribusiness, mental health, and entrepreneurship, and some other many individuals around.
So what's a typical day in your life like? How does it feel to be you?
Well, what it feels to be me is myself and my phone.
So you're always on your phone, like.
So because I have deliveries I have to make, I have a social media account I have to manage, I have content I have to write, I have people I have to write proposals for, business proposals. I have people that I have to create maybe flyers for them for events. And along the line, I find myself voluntarily giving myself to some individuals and some organizations. So like in 2018, as a yearly fellow, I was the communication committee chair. So I had to give my time to project yearly Nigeria alumni on social media and plan events, plan online and offline events, and to as well write stories about it. Write stories about the alumni, what they are doing. So I had so many on my...
So this sounds like a lot of things. Yeah. Did you have moments of being burnt out or being frustrated? Okay,
I can say that the last few months for me has been like, I won't call it depression.
Wow.
Because what really happened was that in 2019, I had the opportunity to work fully in the area of mental health as a communication specialist on the UNODC project in Abuja. So what really happened was that we had to sensitize stakeholders in the community, religious leaders, traditional rulers, secondary school teachers, road transport workers. So it was well overwhelming for me, as well working with my organizations on normal projects and the rest, as well now working with other volunteering jobs I'm doing an organization. So for me, it was very overwhelming, and I discovered that I couldn't get enough job satisfaction because I was not really giving myself to each passion that I love to. So it was overwhelming. I had to change from full-time to volunteering position with the organization. And at that same time, I had so many rejections for programs.
Wow.
Got to some near acceptance.
That's like the most painful.
Even one of the most painful part was I had the opportunity to work with UNDP on this Spotlight Initiative project. So during the interview, I believed that I made some kind of error. So in the course of trying to think and blame myself over what had happened, I could have done like this. So that was when the goodness of the Commonwealth come as a consolation for me. That, oh, okay, now you can now forgive yourself. Something has come. You can now focus, and now we brand your passion and your goal. So it's so overwhelming, and I think everybody passed through that stage of rejection, that stage of sadness, that stage of when you are happy, that stage of where you need to pause and reflect and put yourself together up again and continue your journey.
So what was the Commonwealth Shared application process like?
Okay.
How did you find out about it, and then how was it applying?
Okay.
Walk me through the process for someone who wants to apply for Commonwealth Shared.
The first time I heard about Commonwealth was in 2014.
Okay.
When my mom won the Commonwealth Shared Scholarship to study.
Wow, your mom won! Oh my gosh, she runs in the family.
To study healthcare management and leadership at Sheffield Hallam University.
Okay.
So I was surprised because I was just graduating and I saw her winning such scholarship. I was like, if this woman can win something like this, me as a young boy, active, agile, I can do likewise.
Wow.
So, but I now discovered that it does not only entails your academic qualification. You must volunteer, you must give us yourself in leadership positions and the rest. So in the Commonwealth Shared Scholarship, we have 11 essays to write. 11? So you have to write about your development impact story, your leadership experience, your work experience, your personal statement, your long-term goals, your short-term goals. So all these are what you must put together in a detailed manner, and you must make the story to be singular in format. So what I mean by that is that your development impact story essay must relate to the other essays that you are writing about. So it's something that
somebody
so you can
be another person.
The one thing about this Commonwealth Shared Scholarship that most persons like myself don't know about before is that they have teams, different teams that are related to the SDG. Like global prosperity is under SDG 3, and the SDG 1 and 2, 3 in health. So there's a way the scholarship is being essay is being constructed that if you write for health under prosperity, you won't get it. So if you write for a team that has to do with prosperity and you are coming with health related essays, they won't give you the scholarship. So I realized that was one of the mistakes I've been making over time. So in my essay, I just put everything together. I write about all I do, right? Put this one together, bring this one. So, but this last one, I was strategic. I learned about it. Then I asked questions about it and how to go about it. And funny enough, I applied on the last day of the scholarship because I was just sleeping and let me just try for the last time because I've been applying for like 4 years and nothing is coming. I was like, okay, let me just
kept trying.
So I just keep trying. And I called one of my mentors, Babajide Macaulay, because I volunteer for him at Illumania. They work around essay review. So he just called me and said, why don't you apply? Why are you waiting till this time? Do you know that this is what we do? You could have applied and all the same call us to guide you. So he now said, okay, what should we do? Pick up your pen. This is the question. This is what they're asking you to write. So he gave me those guidelines. So, and because I have those essays on ground as well, because I've applied for Chevni earlier, I just picked my essays and I started restructuring my essays. So I started restructuring my essays according to the guidelines he gave. So it was easy for me to arrange those essays because I have the story. I've been writing it over time. The last year zone is there. I will just pick it up, add, reflect, remove the ones I think. Then I think one other thing that helped me was going to review past essays of scholars that have passed through that process before. So what I realized was that in particular that of Ologundudu, Abraham Ologundudu, in his review, he said something. He said, before you apply for scholarship, write your points, write your experience, then look for the experience that are really strong, then pick from it. Then make sure that your growth can be measured. So you don't write from a process whereby you are growing and nobody can see that growth again.
Yes.
So when I saw that, I realized that yes, I must write my essay, the growth, how you were growing so from stage 1 to stage 2, and then how you now got to that stage whereby you needed this scholarship.
Exactly.
You needed to study this course. So when I saw that, it was easy for me to now put out my essay, to now get, okay, I've done this is my experience, I've gotten to this stage that without this course, without this scholarship, I can't continue to the next level. So that's how I put the essay.
So you need to really reflect that in your application. That's very important. So what lesson has this entire thing taught you about life?
Well, one thing that I've got to learn over time is that what will be yours unless you don't apply.
So you have to make the effort to apply.
It should be yours if it's going to be yours. But if it's going to be yours if you don't apply, you can't blame anybody. So what I believe is that if it's going to be mine, it should be mine. I just have to apply. So I kept on applying, restructure myself, put myself together, apply. Then one other thing I discovered is that I made friends with people in the development space, similar like minds that are also applying. So when I see their success story, whatever I see them making it, I was like, okay, this guy has made it. I'm next.
You're inspired.
So I'm inspired.
So don't let people's successes discourage you, but let it spoil you. I don't know why people feel like they need to compete with their friends. Everybody has different journeys.
No, it's not a competition.
Exactly.
We all have roles to play in this development space and even in life.
Collaboration is the new competitive edge. So you just need to think more about collaborations. I feel that's really true. Yeah. Now I need final words for people who obviously are trying to apply for Commonwealth Shared and possibly they've been rejected before. I know that you kept trying. Yeah. What would you say to such people?
One thing I will say is that if you know you don't believe in yourself, don't do it. You don't believe in yourself, because if you don't believe in yourself, you will keep hurting yourself when you are being rejected.
So that thing's painful.
Because you know at first you don't have the mind to apply. You just say let me just try.
And then when they reject,
when the rejection comes, you are just like, but when you believe in yourself, you put yourself out there. Even though you are rejected, you know that okay, I will have to try again and try again. So you have to believe in yourself to get this thing, and then never think you cannot.
Yes. So if you think you can do something, you can't do it. So, and if you think you can do it, you can do it. Yeah, that's really good.
Never think you cannot.
And then for general applicants, what would you advise them to do? People that want Commonwealth Shared specifically, what would you say? Do this, and I believe that it will help you to get, the Commonwealth Scholarship.
I will say just stick to the STAR approach. The situation, the task, the approach, and the results. So if you stick to that approach, even in your daily life, what situation are you working on? What problem are you solving? What is the task? What is required of you? Then what approach are you taking? Then what result have you gotten? So most of all these essays, they are structured in that manner. So once you can work even on your daily lifestyle, your routine and your professional life in that area, then you can easily go out there, apply for scholarship, apply for fellowship programs, even not just scholarship, fellowship programs, and even job opportunities. And I'm sure that you will get at the end of the day.
Wow, this has really been insightful. Like, I've learned so much, and I'm sure you guys have learned so much. Thank you so much for coming today.
Thank you for having me.
As always, this video is sponsored by Abel's Consulting. I remain your girl, AFM Stories. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.